how do you continue to find the balance between failure and the value of those learning lessons and continuing to build and sustain confidence?
Okay.
Right? For a young child, it seems to be those two things are very connected. And there's two schools of thought. There's a lot of families that are friends of ours where they're gonna put their kid in a safe environment where they're always gonna be the best player and they're never gonna be outside of their comfort zone. They're gonna play in a little bubble, and after every game, they always do great because it's church league, it's rec, it's whatever it is. And then there's the other side of the argument. I would say I'm more to this side personally, where your kid might not be the best kid on his team, but he's gonna be challenged. He's gonna have to work. If he doesn't play, his playing time's gonna go down. I'm not gonna go complain to the coach. You gotta fight for yourself. And balancing failure and confidence when you've moved back 5 places in the lineup because you're on how do we as parents find that balance? How do we find that 15%?
Okay, it's really thoughtful. I'm going to give you a couple frameworks to work from, and then there are some simple solutions here. But so this goes back to parenting. And one of the great things that we can do to help our young people is be on as close as possible to the same page with our co-parent. If you're not a co-parent, okay, well then it's your job to be really clear, right, about the first principles. Okay, so then if we double click underneath that, there's this idea of structured learning versus guided discovery. Okay, now this is a model.
Yeah.
So structured learning is I'm going to teach my child how to, let's do basketball for just a moment.
Yeah.
Tuck my arm in, snap it, and then leave it at 1 o'clock. And do that over and over and over again. And this is what a good shot looks like.
Yep.
And let's get our 10,000, 20,000 reps in it. The research is not 10. It's popular culture that it's
the
10.
Malcolm Gladwell book started the whole 10,000 hour and all of that.
Well, it's born on the original research of Dr. Anders Ericsson.
Okay, yeah.
And when you look at the research, it's more like 17.5 to 20,000.
Really?
Yeah, but 10,000 sounds
it was a little more catchy.
It's good. So
it
anyway,
sold a lot of books.
Mastery is a further extension of it. But anyway, structured learning is that mechanism. Guided discovery is, hey, Susie, you want to learn how to shoot? Yeah, great. All right, there's the ball, there's the hoop. And maybe you'll lower the hoop so it's a 6-foot hoop or whatever it might be. And then say, great, see how you do.
Yeah,
figure it out. That's guided discovery. So structured learning, the kid will get better faster. Okay? Over time. Guided discovery takes longer, but they know this angle, 2 hands, 1 hand. So they're explorers now. So it goes back to first principles.
Yeah.
Do you want them to be great at precision and rote, or do you want them to be explorers of their capabilities?
And that's a larger conversation. It might be better for them as basketball players in both the immediate and the near future, but as people, creative minds, problem solving, critical thinking.
And I would also,
maybe it's not.
But yes. And I would also add to it is that if I were to pick a team and I was pressured within 18 months to win something, structured learning.
Yep.
But if I am saying, okay, listen, 36 months, 5 years, 10 years, where do I want to lay my bet? Guided discovery. Because let's imagine a forward roll, for an example. So we got our kid on the top of a hill, your kid, my kid. I'm going to take structured learning. You're going to take guided discovery. I don't know if that's the case or not.
I can't do a forward roll.
Okay, no. Right. So, okay, perfect. Then we should go do this.
You should have me teach me to do a forward roll.
And if I said, hey, forward rolls, like just go for it, figure it out. You would maybe go sideways, you go all different ways, but you would have better command of how your brain and your mind and your body are working as you're exploring. Just the tuck your shoulder, go down, do it again and again, you would just get that skill. So over time, true masters of craft.
Interesting.
You want them to understand the fullness of this sport.
Even if it leads to more failure early.
So let's talk about failure. Failure and mistakes are different. Okay, so learning is what what you and I are getting at right now. Okay, so you and I want to learn. That's why we're in this conversation, right? We want our children to learn. So to learn, there's that right balance between intensity and deep focus and enjoyment. Now, it's not fun to get to that deep focus place. That is very hard to do, and it's rare. Most people don't go there. It's nauseatingly to get to that deep focus. So we have to create the runway of fun before it to help our kids get to that place almost accidentally. Okay, so mistakes happen when you are getting to the edges of your capabilities.
Yep.
That's where mistake. So as soon as my son gets to the edges of his capabilities and form breaks down and movement is kind of sloppy or he's in a place where he's not quite sure, I am celebrating like a wild person.
Right.
Like that's it. Okay, good. Like how do we do that again tomorrow?
Yeah.
How do you get to that place again tomorrow? And he's like, Dad, I don't know. That was hard. And I say, that's exactly how this is supposed to be. Great. So were you having fun before? Yeah, but then all of a sudden, like the game picked up and it got faster, and balls were coming. Okay. So what would be one way to calm yourself down so that you can slow it down? And now I'm working on a mental skill of calm and confidence to get to your point. So we want to reward mistake making to get to deep learning. Okay? So you hear that.
Yeah.
Adults hear that in business and they're like, yeah, right, fail fast, fail forward. We want to encourage mistakes. That's not true in big business. Those words are said, but as adults, we don't do a great job backing that.
Yeah.
Because if you fail too much, guess
You
what?
have negative consequences.
That's right.
Yeah.
And if you make too many mistakes, guess what?
And we're probably all guilty of that as coaches and parents. I know I am.
100%.
You know, something we always talk about with our kids is a philosophy that I have is we're always going to make practice an environment that you're probably going to fail a lot.
It's great. But I would strike the word fail.
Mistakes.
Yeah.
Where you make mistakes.
Yeah,
That's
we're
good.
going to structure this to be deep learning.
Okay.
And to do that, you're going to make a lot of mistakes.
Okay.
Okay, so I would use mistakes and learning and put those together. And then when mistakes are being made, that there's different types of coaching. There's mastery coaches that are truly masters at bringing the best out of somebody. And then there's like amateur coaches, there's performance coaches, there's high performance coaches, but mastery coaches look at the being and are so curious. They're asking questions and they're using questions to understand what's already inside you. Because there's a fundamental belief that that person already has some insights. My job is to help illuminate them,
bring them out.
make them be theirs, rather than the expert over here.
Yep.
Wait, real quick.
Yeah.
On the failure bit, I would challenge parents and coaches to really explore what failure is. And the cheap version is that there's a scoreboard, and if you don't have enough points, you failed. I think that seems ridiculous. When
Yeah.
you're thinking about cultivating human potential, the scoreboard, that's an important metric. Because if you don't get that thing right long enough, you don't get to play.
Right.
So I understand it. But that is absolutely, there's a brilliant opportunity to redefine failure that in an authentic way that works towards growth.